Hey guys, this is a presentation of our project management plan for the B7 recreational area. We split the presentation up into 5 different sections, one for each member, and so we're each going to be talking about the areas that we worked on over the management plan. The background of the project, it was a landscaping project for the university. It was done back in 2013 by Taylor Brammer Architects. Looking at our risk management plan of the project, we split them up into 2 different divisions. We have our design risks in the design phase and then our construction risks during the construction phase. Looking at these, we identified a few different risks that could occur during the design phase. We looked at the likelihood that they would occur and the severity of them should they occur. We looked at what impacts they would have on the project, and then we proposed some strategies to help deal with these risks and avoid the potential impacts. We did the same thing with the construction risks. We identified what risks could occur, as well as some impacts and the proposed strategy to deal with them as well. If there were any risks that were not mentioned in either of these 2 divisions, we adopted a strategy to avoid, transfer, mitigate, and then accept them.
I was responsible for the scheduling of the project. We used MS Project to set out the WBS. The duration of tasks were estimated based on just our industrial experience and estimation. We broke the WBS down to a detail that allowed us to account for resourcing to activities that didn't require labour. This was such as concrete curing. We assumed that our overall resources available to us was a 4-man construction crew with a truck and excavator hire, with the more specific detailed tasks subcontracted out.
Hey guys, my name's Matt and I did the project budget or the cost analysis. Basically the way I've done this is I've just looked at the work breakdown structure and broken that up further and made it into a cost estimate. So this here is the cost estimate. What we have is the task, the specific items within the task, quantity, the units and the rate. Then I've broken it down into labour, material, equipment, subcontractor or other. By the end of each section, you get a total for that section. So that's the total down here, site establishment. I do that for every task. And by the end of the project, we've got the total cost for each task type. The total before any contingencies, all of our included contingencies and cost factors, provisional items down the bottom, and then our project totals down the bottom. Here are the key points to come from the project budget. The project total comes to $565,890.44 before GST. This includes provisional items for weather, profit margin, and also location factor. This total does not include a provisional item, which is for COVID insurance, a 2-week isolation period. Looking at the project risk analysis, we're using schedule of rates for any variations. That'll help to mitigate a lot of the risks that may come up. We're also going to be using the monitoring and control plan to help with any risk mitigation.
Looking at the work, health and safety of this project, we identified some issues that could arise during the project, and then we had a look at the levels of risks for each issue as well. We then proposed some strategies to, where possible, remove these issues completely, or where that wasn't possible, just to reduce them to a safer level. Looking at the environmental issues, we did a similar style. We identified a few issues that would arise during the project, as well as the level of impact these issues would have on the site as well. Then we proposed some strategies to keep the site as pristine a condition as we found it and to reduce our impact on it as well.
And now we'll be moving into our site management plan. A site management plan is concerned with the day-to-day operations of our site, while taking into consideration our specific site constraints and assumptions. It is divided into 4 main points, each of which has its own aspects. We're gonna start with environmental management, which includes air quality, waste, soils and water, and vegetation and tree protection. And then we're gonna move to stakeholder management, which includes noise and vibrations, heritage and unexpected finds, and traffic and transport. And then we're gonna go into the health and safety, which includes induction to all workers and general safety measures and emergency procedures. And finally, we have industrial relations, which includes community management and contact information of relevant authorities. The site management plan will be printed and made available to all workers so they could have it at all times so operations can run smoothly and hassle-free. This is a copy of the site management plan that will be provided.
Next is monitoring and controlling. These are the main methods we use for monitoring and controlling. First is project controlling. In this, we included timekeeping, safety induction, allocate a number of manpower and resources, and site cleaning. And next, we scope monitoring. In this, we were vigilant about the scope creep and writing about the timely letters and emails. And next is procurement. We made the schedule for the delivery dates of each item in a way that 1 week before the commencement of the work, the material should be at the site. So next is performance. In this, we included our KPI, that is key performance indicators, and budget. For that budget was main importantly we did that, and that we made many comparisons for getting the best price product without compromising the quality. And then schedule and progress. We already did a Looker program for that, and in accordance to that we planned everything and we compared what is the actual work with the planned deadline. And finally, it is quality control. That means we made timely supervisions and inspections for the work and controlling noise and pollution. Thank you.
Moving on to the handover. This is the last stop in our project, and it consists of 6 stages done consecutively and simultaneously. First, the developer is responsible of issuing a notice of practical completion of construction works when the construction works have ended. Then, the architect is required to conduct an inspection along with the developer representative, after which a defect list is generated and the developer is required to do the rectifications necessary for the defects. Then, the architect is required to complete a final defect rectification completion inspection to get the certificates of compliance. At this stage, the project manager is responsible of generating a handover manual that includes the certificates of compliance, as-built, any key swipes or locks, maintenance schedules, maintenance procedures, client training, contact lists, and warranty schedule. The client will need to go through some training to ensure that they're well aware of any future maintenance necessary. The completed project is then handed over to the client and the project is closed.